Welcome to my professional ethics video playlist. Today we will discuss about concept of ethics. So let's see first of all the outlines of the session. First we will discuss about the concept of ethics. Next, definition of ethics. Next, concept of personal ethics. Next, concept of business ethics. And at last we will see the difference between business ethics and personal ethics. So let's see one by one all these topics briefly. First, the meaning of ethics. So here you can see E means everyone is watching, T means time management, H means health and safety, I means individual loyalty, and C means commitment, and at last S means social networking. So in short, we can say these are the different points which are more concerned with the ethics. So in short, we can say ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of activity. So very simple, ethics are the moral principles which directly affects on the person's behavior or conducting the different activities. So let's start from the first, what is ethics? So here you can see these are the different characteristics of the ethics. Ethics is a system of moral principles. These are the different principles, or you can say moral principles. They affect how people make decisions and lead their lives. So these are the different moral principles affect how people make decisions. Ethics is concerned with what is good for individuals and society, and is also described as moral philosophy. So basically we can say ethics is concerned with what is good for individuals and society. Ethics term is derived from the Greek word ethos, which can mean custom, habit, character, or disposition. So basically we can say ethics is actually related to the character, or you can say habit. Next, ethics covers the following dilemmas. First, how to live a good life. So this is a situation where ethics is concerned. Next, our rights and responsibilities. So there are lots of rights that each citizen has. At the same time, there are lots of responsibilities should be performed by the citizens. So once again, rights and responsibilities are connected with the ethics. The language of right and wrong. So what is the right and what is the wrong? That is once again concerned to the ethics. Moral decisions means what is good and what is bad. That should be decided by the moral values. Our concepts of ethics have been derived from religions, philosophies, and culture. So generally we can say the ethics or the moral values have been derived from the different resources like as religions, philosophies, and cultures. So these are the different sources for the ethics. Now let's start from the personal ethics. And these are the different characteristics of the personal ethics. Personal ethics refer to the set of moral values. Here you can see these all are the moral values that form the character and conduct of a person. So these are the different moral values that form the character of the individuals and conduct of a person. Next, personal ethics are installed in us from the childhood itself. So, personal ethics are actually developed from the childhood. They are influenced by the belief and views of our family, religion, friends, and other who have a major impact in our life. Honesty, integrity, sense of responsibility, trustworthiness are some common examples of the ethics. These personal ethics we learn from the childhood, which are reflected in our behavior. So basically we can say the personal ethics we learn from the childhood, and what we learn from the childhood are reflected in our behavior. It is correct to say that our behavior, the decisions we make, etc., are governed by personal ethics. Next one, business ethics. Sometimes it is called as professional ethics or organizational ethics. And here you can see these are the different characteristics of the business ethics, like as choice, reliability, relationship, responsibility, trust, principle, behavior, morality. So let's see briefly about the business ethics. Organization ethics describe what constitutes right and wrong, or you can say good or bad, in human conduct in the context of an organization. So whatever it may be, the right and wrong or good and bad, that is actually in the context of the organization. It is concerned with the issue of morality that arises in any situation where employees come together for the specific purpose of producing commodities or rendering services for the purpose of making profit. So business ethics is actually much more concerned with the issue of morality, and that situation arises where employees come together for the specific purpose, and that specific purpose may be for the producing commodities, or we can say producing products, or it can be related to the services after selling that products for the purpose of making profit. So we can say business ethics is much more concerned with the issue of morality. According to John Donaldson, business ethics can be defined as the systematic study of ethical matters about the business, industry, or related activities, institutions, and belief. So these ethical matters about the business, industry, or industry related activities, institutions, and belief. So we can say business ethics is the systematic handling of values that you can see over here in business and industry. Some examples of work ethics are time management, punctuality, transparency, and confidentiality. Disclosing confidential information about the policy or about the monopoly of the business, misleading the client, or it can be the patient for the doctor, violating intellectual property rights, bribery, insider trading, and bias hiring practices are some of the examples of breach of ethics. So these all are the examples of breach of ethics, like as disclosing confidential information, misleading the client, violating intellectual property rights, bribery, bias hiring practices. Now the very important difference between business ethics and personal ethics. So let's see first. Business ethics is a code of conduct imposed on an employee or a member of a certain profession. So business ethics that is actually imposed on an employee. Say for example, there is a doctor, so there is a code of conduct imposed on the doctor community. Personal ethics. Personal ethics is a code of conduct that govern an individual's whole life. So this is the main difference. Personal ethics is more concerned with the individual's whole life, whereas business ethics is the code of conduct imposed on an employee, or you can say member of a certain profession. We can say in another word, there is a code of conduct for the doctor, there is a different code of conduct for the advocate, etc. Business ethics learned relatively later in life, especially after joining the workforce, or you can say simply after joining the job. Personal ethics learn from childhood and then influenced by family, religion, friends, and close surroundings. Examples for the business ethics, we can say punctuality, time management, confidentiality, and transparency. Examples for the personal ethics, honesty, openness, integrity, sincerity, etc. Now let's write these difference between business ethics and personal ethics point wise, and that will be very helpful for your examination. First, business ethics. Same throughout the organization. Because for the business ethics, there is a special code of conduct for the different business like as doctor, advocate, nurse, etc. Whereas personal ethics can be differ by the individuals. Especially these are the different terms related to the business ethics like as law, crime, punishment. In case of personal ethics, these are the different terms related to the personal ethics, religion, sin, virtue. Business ethics learn from the management, team leaders, co-workers. Personal ethics learn from the parents, teachers, role models, etc. Business ethics learn relatively later in life, that means after joining the job. Whereas personal ethics learn from the childhood. Business ethics is the professional commitment, whereas personal ethics is the personal choice. Business ethics is related to the written code of conduct. Say for example, if you are a doctor, then there is a special code of conduct that is written for the doctors. Similarly, there is a special code of conduct for the nurse, etc. But for the personal ethics, there is a unwritten code of conduct. Examples of business ethics are punctuality, confidentiality, and transparency. Examples for the personal ethics are honesty, integrity, sincerity, etc. Thanks my dear friends for watching this video. Press the like button to appreciate it.